What's up, everybody, and welcome to Adam Mentality World. Today, we're going to discuss the first episode of Raw ever since the brand split. I'm going to rank it, tell you what I think. You tell me what you think. We're going to have a little commentating back and forth. Let's do that for once. All right. So first, to start off Raw, we had Stephanie McMahon and Mick Foley come out, and this was kind of a shocker for me because I heard before that they weren't going to have a second title, and I thought, all right, well, if they're going to do it, they're going to feel it out, see how it goes. See if they might need a title, or maybe they're good enough with the titles they have because they already have a bunch of the titles anyway. But it wasn't the next night. The very first thing to discuss is they're gonna have a new championship, and it was kind of funny because Mick Foley was kind of like they kind of make it like a little bit of a butt kissing thing. We're like, we love the WWE Universe, so we're gonna name the title after you, the WWE Universal Championship. That's not a Mick Foley impersonation. That's just a douchebag impersonation or something. Anyway, so they did that. They released the name of the title. They didn't say what it looks like. There have been rumors of what it looks like. Here's one right here. Not that good looking of a belt, if you ask me. They took the Winged Eagle belt and put the WWE Network logo all over it. It looks pretty hideous. I've seen other ones, little joke ones or whatever, but that's the only one that's kind of people keep thinking like, oh, that's the belt, that's the belt. Please God, don't let that be the belt. That's kind of like when this belt first came out, when they first had the spinner belt and everybody hated that, and then, oh, we need a new belt. And then there was this image leaked out like, please God, don't let this be the belt. And then it was the belt, and it was the belt for a little bit, and then they went straight out the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I can't keep keeping up with these belts, WWE. You keep making too many belts, and I have to buy them all because they're all beautiful, and I need to be the latest guy. Who wants to have this belt when that belt isn't even the belt no more? Anyway, all right, so on to the Raw. So they decided they were going to have two Fatal 4-Way matches, and each winner would go on to face each other at the main event that night on Raw. So that was kind of cool because they don't usually do that anymore. So right off the bat, Stephanie's doing pretty good so far. You got a new title. We got two Fatal 4-Ways for a match tonight on Raw, that night on Raw. And then they're going to determine who was going to be the champ, who was going to fight the champ, who was going to fight Seth Rollins, who should have been the champ, according to Stephanie, because Roman Reigns was a loser, and he ruined it for him. Like I said, Roman Reigns did the crime, and he's got to do the time. I think he'll come out better in the end. I said, I don't hate Roman Reigns. I was getting tired of him being shoved in our throats, but maybe this will be best for him. Anyway, the first match they had Cesaro versus Rusev versus Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor ended up hitting the coup de grace on Rusev to win that match. So he went on to the main event of Raw on Monday night. And then they had a little bit of a break, and then then they had the next match was the Raw debut of Nia Jax versus a jobber. I said it was cool. I said when you see a jobber, you know exactly what's going to happen. The jobber's probably going to lose. Like I said, if you've seen any kind of wrestling, even so soon as far as back when Ryback was being built up, they just brought out jobbers and then he would beat them up, kind of show how strong he is compared to regular people like me and you, not wrestlers. So Nia Jax goes over. She's a cousin of The Rock. The Rock's my hero. I only want good things to happen to wrestlers because I love wrestling. But please, can you do something about the weight, please? I know you want to be big and strong, but lose some weight or something. I don't know. You just look like you were poured into that balloon of a suit. Please. Anyway, I'm not saying lose all the weight, just lose some of it. Alright, so now we have the Fatal 4-Way number 2 match. Guess the other guys need to go back and change, get ready. You had that with Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn, Sheamus, and Chris Jericho. Roman Reigns ended up pinning Chris Jericho in the middle of the ring. That was cool. So now you have your main event for Raw built. You got Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. And that would be the number one contender for Seth Rollins, against Seth Rollins, for the WWE Universal Championship. Once again, we don't know what that looks like. I hope it looks nice. So then you have the New Day come out. They're always entertaining. Like I said, this was the only thing I cared about with this brand split. I didn't care if all the people got split up and then most of my guys went to SmackDown and I had to watch SmackDown. I didn't care as long as the New Day stayed together because those guys are freaking awesome. entertaining as heck. I said, I know it's just not supposed to be funny, haha, but it's supposed to be entertaining, and funny is entertaining, and that's exactly what they are. They can also wrestle. Because there's rumors of them breaking up, but thank God they did not. So they went on, they were talking about how Booty-O's was not a thing 337 days ago, and now that actually is a cereal, which my buddy, I think he says he's going to order it from FYE. I'd like to get a box. We're going to test it out and see what it tastes like. I'm going to guess it tastes like Lucky Charms. If it tastes like booty, it ain't going to be selling for long. They also had a guy come up there named Sonny Boy. They did a little shtick. They said they're going to pick somebody from the audience, and then I was like, ooh, maybe it'll be an actual person, but no, it was a plant. So they got him up there and asked, what's your name, Sonny Boy? He's like, my name's Sonny Boy. What's your name, Sonny Boy? And they went on a funny thing. That's it. Always entertaining. And then the club comes out, beats him up. So now the club and the New Day are going to have a rivalry, of course. Next match, you got Curtis Axel against the returning Neville. I said, the Red Arrow is all I have to say. If you've ever seen the Red Arrow, that thing's sick. And I said, all right match. Like I said, there was no story behind it. It was just a match for Adrian Neville to show back Aaron Neville. That's either Aaron Neville or Adam Sandler. I'm not sure. Anyway, now on to the possibly biggest match of the night, I would say. You have Sasha Banks versus Charlotte Flair for the WWE Women's Championship. There were some cool spots in the match. Like I said, this match was really good. I said the things these two girls will do, and like Bayley, there's a couple other girls that'll do. I said Becky Lynch is pretty good, but I said the things they did in this match. I said Sasha Banks, they dove through the second rope and landed on Ric Flair's daughter Charlotte, landed on Charlotte, and I thought she broke her neck. It looked just like what Lita did to Trish years ago when she messed up her neck really bad. And I was like, oh great. There goes Sasha Banks. She just broke her neck. Now she's in a wheelchair. But luckily, nothing bad happened. Apparently, I said she continued with the match, and no one said anything since. Haven't seen any reports. So, but anyway, but then what's her name? Charlotte did that freaking moonsault off the top of the turnbuckle onto the ground. Like, oh god! Every time they do that kind of stuff. I'm afraid their legs gonna snap, like that one guy did years ago. And I'm just like, oh, I don't want to see that. Or like Anderson Silva's in that match against Chris Weidman. Luckily, it didn't break. And then Dana Brooke was kind of interfering, and so Sasha Banks, being the huge Eddie Guerrero fan that she is, she took a page out of his book and act like Dana Brooke hit her with the belt, or was going to hit her with the belt, so the ref threw her out, which confuses me also, because if the ref thinks that she did get hit, then that's a disqualification, and then Charlotte would win the belt. But I know it's WWE, but they're very fickle with the rules. It doesn't make any sense sometimes, but whatever. But it was cool because at the very end of the match, Sasha Banks got Charlotte into the bank statement, and she almost tapped her out, and then she rolled out, and then she got her back in the bank statement, and she touched the rope, and then Charlotte was just like, "You'll never beat me," and then boom, boom, right there, bank statement, tapped her out. Everybody flipped out. I said, I kind of saw this one coming. I thought she was possibly going to win. I'm not going to say probably, but I figured she had a really good chance of winning, even though it was Raw, because Stephanie wants to make Raw exciting and crazy, and she's doing an excellent job for the first week. First week, she's done an excellent job of Raw with the brand split against Shane McMahon and SmackDown. It doesn't help that she's got the best crew, best wrestlers and everything. On to the next match. Another jobber match. Braun Strowman versus a jobber. Some little Weasley guy with a Offspring tattoo. Braun Strowman has a new haircut. I don't know what to say with his barber. I'm sure he killed him after he got his haircut, because that was a messed up hairdo. That's about it. Another jobber match. Just show up Braun Strowman. They're going to build him up big, hopefully. I like the guy. He's a big dude. He could do a lot. Anybody that makes Brock Lesnar look small is a big dude. Then you got Enzo and Cass. They were talking. They said they're also entertaining. One of my favorites. Then the Shining Star comes out. Then they fight. Then Enzo and Cass, of course, win. Then you had the main event with Finn Balor versus Roman Reigns. They went back and forth. It was an alright, decent match. And Finn actually ended up winning, which was a surprise. They said to have your first night on Raw, and then you go on and you're going to be the guy fighting for the WWE Universal Championship. That's huge. Like I said, I knew when he came in they were going to strap. They always talk about putting a rocket on their back. They're going to put 2 rockets on his back, and they did exactly that. So for Raw, I'd give it a solid 8.5, it was a good Raw. Like I said, it was very entertaining. Like I said, the Sasha Banks and all the other stuff. They had the new belt, which I'm always excited about, new belts, as you can see behind me. Those are just some of them. But that was about it. Like I said, we'll see if they can keep up the momentum with next week's Raw. I said it's kind of hard to do that, to top yourself every week, unless if you're in the Monday Night Wars when you have to. I said right now they don't have to. They're just doing it for fun. Like, oh, Stouty versus Shane, ha 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 ha. No one's gonna get fired or lose their job. But that is it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Please subscribe. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Peace.